Good Tuesday evening, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Talking Iowa Hawkeye Sports. You can find us on YouTube and like over 400 or 500 videos now you can go check out. You can come on Facebook and sign up and be a group member on Facebook and get all the latest stuff that we share there, all the things we talk about. Anyway, hit that subscribe button. It's there in front of you. Just get it out of the way and do it now. And then hit the like button. Leave a comment or two. And by all means, share this thing. Share it all over the place. You know, today I shared out our that we were going live today. I shared it out to a couple of local media members to see if they weren't doing anything tonight, that maybe they would tune in. Leave us a comment or two. Who knows? Okay. But today we're going to talk about the men first. We're going to talk about the Oregon game and preview tomorrow night's Washington game. And then we'll talk about the women's double loss this week in California, and then their upcoming game about Minnesota. And then we got some football stuff. And if we got time, we'll leave some room for wrestling at the end. So, you know, anyhow, that's where we're at right now. Guys, welcome to another show. Quiet. You guys are quiet.
Oh, you were talking to us.
Hi, everybody.
Well, welcome, Dean. Well,
welcome, everybody.
Thanks for hosting us. It was a wonderful day. It was a wonderful supper you prepared for us tonight and everything. And hit that like button and please share and subscribe.
Yeah, buddy.
Yeah.
All righty. Okay. Well, let's just get started with the men who defeated Oregon 84-66. And it was kind of a close game early on and stayed that way. Iowa slowly started to pull away and then kind of maintained their lead late in the game, 84-66. That was really nice. I'm seeing that comparative scores. Oregon's losing by similar scores all over the place. And so, yeah. That was the Sturtz's game where he went off for 32 points. All right. He had a great stat line that night. He 38 minutes, 0 rebounds, 7 assists, and 32 points. I like to also point out Houston. Of course, my phone. There we go. Houston played 16 minutes and 11 points. I know that the media this week is just ringing their bell saying, oh, he's back. He's here. He's ready to go. Now we just need him to play like that the rest of the season. Yeah. Okay. And he got his opportunities because Banks was sitting on the bench injured. And I still haven't found out if he's even going to play tomorrow night or not. Maybe it's a game time decision.
Ben said today that he expects him to play.
Yeah. Okay. I think he hurt his hip. So that's what
one guy said he hurt his foot.
If anybody
would have took a picture of him on the bench, what he was rubbing with the Thera, whatever it's called, Theraphone, whatever it's called, the massage thing, we'd know what was bothering him, but nobody pointed that out.
Yeah. Okay. And Filgaris is really starting to come on now. He 8 rebounds, 3 assists, and 15 points. I mean, he can step back and hit that 3. That's what I like about him. He can do. Of course, Banks only played 11 minutes, 4 points, so he didn't get a chance to compete for the record on the free throws. So hopefully tomorrow night, and hopefully he doesn't.
Well, we can't forget Cooper Koch. He had 10 points, 3 rebounds, 2 assists, and he only turned the ball over 1 time. So I'm liking Cooper Koch's game right now. He's starting to act like his dad a little bit. Can shoot it a little bit, take it to the rim.
Yeah, he got hot early in the season, and he's just been kind of missing lately.
I think basketball can be streaky, but I like the way he's playing defense and hustling.
Yep.
So I'm sure That's right up Ben's alley. So.
Mm-hmm.
Another guy I want to get a shout out. 27 minutes. I'm sure that Banks being hurt helped him get some more minutes too. Was Isaiah Howard, 4 rebounds, 3 assists, 6 points, and his defense. I mean, his defense was right there.
He just got some length on him. A little bit of length on him. Get in the passing lane, create steals.
Yeah, a little disappointed in Combs. Only came up with 4 points. And Manuel, do we even need him on the floor? I'm serious.
Who's that?
Manuel.
Manyao?
Yeah.
Hell yes, we need him on the floor.
13 minutes.
He's our
3
only
rebounds, 2 assists, no points.
He's one of our best defenders. He's our only he's our only good defender that's a big guy. Alvaro isn't that good a defender, you know.
Right.
Well, we don't have a true big guy. We don't have a true.
No.
Well, he's the biggest we got. He's the biggest we got at 6'9" or 10, however big he is, you know. But yeah, he's a very good defensive player, obviously, you know. So.
Okay. Yeah. So just kind of looking at the stats, we just pretty much dominated Oregon all over the place. No, wait a minute. That's sorry. Wrong one.
Not rebounds. They beat us in rebounds. Total
rebounds. No. They did. We got beat by. I was looking at the wrong one. I had another team up here, but this time I caught myself before I went through the wrong ones.
We had a little episode, a couple weeks ago with that. So
yeah. Well, both Iowa and Oregon took 56 shots. Iowa hit 33. Oregon hit 23. They shot 41%, Oregon did. So, I mean, they didn't shoot real bad. Iowa just shot 59%. You know, God, you're going to win a lot of games if you shoot 59%.
You're going to lose. You're going to lose a lot of games if you shoot 41%.
Right.
Yeah. You want to at least be 46, 7, 8, 9% from the field.
Okay. All right.
Unless you're shooting all 3-pointers and hit 40%, you're going to win the game by 20, you know. But
Alrighty. All right.
Anyway.
Well, 3-pointers. Oregon hit 6 for 25. They were just jacking them things up without making any for 24%.
But the thing is, Oregon's got a lot of people injured too.
Well, yeah.
So, you mean
they're decimated.
Yeah.
So, what'd we shoot from 3, Dean?
We shot 45%, 10 for 22. I think a lot of those came from Sturts.
Did he just miss one or something? I don't know. There for a while, he'd missed one the whole game.
Well, the thing is, Sturts was 12 out of 15 shooting, and he was 4 from 6 from 3.
Yeah.
So he missed 2. Okay.
Mm-hmm. That's a pretty good stat right there.
Well, it's what you would call in the zone.
Yeah.
That don't happen very often.
So cringed when I see somebody like Sturts missing a free throw. You know, it's like, dude, you're supposed to be Mr. Automatic. Or on the women's team, when you see when you see Chit Chat miss one because she's their best free throw shooter.
Okay.
Chit Chat, you're not supposed to miss any.
Coming up on this game on Thursday night or tomorrow night, do you think do we want Banks tying Chris Street's record or breaking Chris Street's record? Or, what do you guys think?
Well, okay, first of all, here's my personal opinion.
That's what I want.
If you have an opportunity, break it. Chris Street would want that. However, listening to Ben in one of his 2 pressers, one was from his show last night, and one was his pregame presser that he always has every week. It sounds like he wants to be respectful of Chris Street's record.
Yep.
But like Bobby Hansen says, it's the time and the score of the game is going to dictate whether you miss a free throw or make it.
Yeah.
But, we got to get him there first. He's got to hit 4 more.
Yeah. Yeah,
My
that's true.
my opinion is I want guys to go ahead and play. You know, it was fine. I loved it that Jordan Bohannon missed the free throw on purpose not to break it, but we don't have to continually do that for the next 100 years. You know,
I get that.
That's my opinion.
Right.
I think Chris Street wants some Hawkeye to make 50 in a row.
Right.
You know,
That's how competitive he was. He would say,
yeah.
Well,
he would have told Jordan, why you do that? I appreciate the effort, but Jordan, next time, go make it.
But
I like
that Jordan missed that, but
yeah, I did too.
You don't have to do it every time.
No,
a record's about ready to be broken.
My opinion is, and I told Dean and I told Kelvin this too, that Chris Street is my all-time favorite basketball player. I grew up watching him when I was 3 years old, and you know, when he passed away, my mom's got videotape of me just crying because he was my favorite player. And respectfully, I agree with Kelvin too. You know, records are made to be broken, but you know, seeing that family suffer what they went through in '93, you know, I mean, it goes both ways. But I agree with also what Dean said. Hey, you know, time of the game, possession wise, score wise, maybe break it. But the thing is, would the Street family be appreciative of Banks breaking it? You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Because they're a really nice family. Really nice. Very respectful family.
Yeah. And I don't even know if they're even talking about it. Like I said last show is you know, hopefully the media is not hound dogging him. Hopefully Ben's not talking to him about it.
It's just another game.
Just another game.
Go out there, make plays, and
first of all, he's got to get there. I mean, he's got to hit 4 more in a row.
Yeah, we just want to go 2-0 this week, win 2 games, and not worry about side stuff. You know,
we'll get
like the women
here in a little
bit. We want the women to win 1 game this week because they only play 1.
Yeah.
You know, and so.
All right, let's go. Let's finish kind of this up where we go. We went for 8 for 10 on free throws, 80%. Finally, we hit 80% on free throws. But they were 14 of 16 for 87%. Now, Ben did mention that they've had this discussion. The team has discussed their lack of, shooting free throws, drawing fouls, and why the fouls are always piling up on the other side. One of the things he said today is that he's still learning how to play in the Big Ten and what the refs do in the game. You know,
in other words, he's new in the Big Ten, and the refs are giving him a baptism, I think.
Right.
Okay, wait a minute. I would like to say that when the Iowa played Minnesota and Iowa played Indiana, they're all new in the Big Ten. How did they decide which one to baptize and which one to bless?
That's true.
That makes sense. True. That makes sense.
But it was pretty obvious when we played at Michigan State. Oh my God. But anyway.
It's like that I don't care who the coach is. It could have been Bobby Knight against Izzo. And Izzo will still get the calls at home. Always has, always will.
Well.
You know. I agree. But they got
any more stats you want to point out, Dean?
Yeah, I just want to quickly point out that we lost the rebounding battle 29-23. We had 2 blocks, they had 2 blocks, we had 8 steals, they had 2 steals. We only turned it over 4 times in the game. Forced 9 turnovers on them. 4 times seems like, wow, that's crazy.
We had 1 turnover at halftime. I don't know if I ever seen that before in my life, you know, but
hey, you turn the ball over less than 10 times, 90% of that, you win games.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So I was happy with that.
Okay, I'm not sure how to say this name. Jomard Yapop says, shout out guys from the Philippines. So,
Oh, wow.
wow, that's good. Watching from the Philippines. All righty. He probably gets the award from watching from the furthest away. Or she.
If they're talking about from California, it would depend, Dean, what direction around the earth you go. Because if you went to your west from California, me or Kyle would be farther than the Philippines. Because you'd have to go all the way around the world.
Right.
I'm sorry I said that. It was a joke, but anyway.
Good old geography.
This show might originate in California, but pretend it's coming from the heart of Iowa.
Yeah, we want our listeners to think that we're Iowa-based, which we are, really. So.
Right.
Dean's an Iowan. He just has to live in that place called California. So.
California.
All right. Guys, let's talk a little bit about Washington, our next game tomorrow night. Now, first of all, Ben's trying to play it off, but everybody's asking him, is playing the game at 10 o'clock Central Time going to be a detriment to these guys tomorrow night? Are they going to fall asleep on us?
Well, I mean, we stayed out there, didn't we?
Yeah, we stayed out there. I was smart.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah, they ought to be used to it by now.
Yep.
I'm going to tell you guys something. Whenever I travel between California and Iowa and I go back to Iowa, my body, even when we're back there for 2 weeks, my body always stays on California time. It never adjusts to Iowa.
That's all right. It happens. It happens.
I believe that's true.
Yep, same.
Yeah.
But
I visited California before. It was hard to adjust when I got back.
Mm-hmm.
Well, let's talk about this, okay? Washington is 12-10 overall, 4-7 in the conference. But when you look at who they've lost to in the conference, they may have had the toughest conference schedule to date. I mean, they're all going to play the same teams. But to date, in their first 11 games, they had hardly anybody who wasn't the top contender in the team league.
Yeah. I know Ben said that today, that they played a very tough schedule. But,
I went and looked to see what it was. Yeah. I don't have that in front of me. I thought I did. I thought I had that. I was going to have that in front of me today. Okay. Yeah.
Hold on. I'll look it up. How's that sound?
Okay.
I don't know if they played Gonzaga in the non-conference too, a fellow Washington school or not. I don't know if them two schools play every year or not. Well,
they were 8-3, it looks like, in the non-conference schedule. But I'm sure they play Gonzaga.
I don't know.
Alrighty.
Them two schools might hate each other and never play.
No, they don't.
They
did not play each other.
Okay.
Yeah.
Washington did not play Gonzaga.
Yeah.
All right. Guys, there's something I discovered about this team.
And that is?
They're tall. Age-wise, they're old. And they're a very physical team.
Well, that's good to have. I want
to say it. They have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Hang on. 6 guys, 6'10" or taller on this team.
And their best player is real tall, but he's a freshman.
He's 6'11", and the coach in the interview this week said that he's a one and done player. He's from Germany. I'll bet you if we look at his age, he's probably already 20-something.
Oh. I don't know.
Yeah, his name is Steinbach. Steinbach, he averages 7.5 a game. He's their top rebounder. He rebounds 11.2 rebounds a game. He's had 14 double-doubles this year. Of course, his average is a double-double. And so, but yeah, the guy who leads them in blocks, let me see if I can get this correctly here. He Kepnang. He has 2.3 blocks a game, and he's also 6'11", and he's a transfer from Oregon. Okay. The guy who leads them in steals is a guy by the name of Peterson. But he's only 6'1". He's a shorty.
Well, most guys that steal the ball a lot are guards. So
guards and short.
By the way, he is the shortest guy on the team at 6'1".
Yeah.
And so let me see if I can get some more stats from him here. If I didn't,
I know Ben said today that Washington spent an ungodly amount of money on players in the offseason transfers.
yes.
So,
like I said, they got a guy from Germany, a guy from Canada, a guy from Cameroon, a guy from France, and a guy from Syria. They have a 6-year player, but I don't know where he's from. Judging by his name, he's another foreigner. The guy from France is Troy. He's 6'11", and this is the 4th school he's been at. Every year he's played at a different school. He's never played for the same school.
That's how you make money.
Yeah.
Ta-da!
6'7" Tucker is from Indiana. Yeah. So
You said one of their players went from Oregon to Washington. So
yeah. But anyway, I've never seen a team so tall. I mean, I didn't get ours out and compare our heights, but I mean, I think our tallest guy is 6'9" or 6'10".
no, Jurok's the tallest at 6'11", but he's just
they don't
a
even
true
play him
freshman.
anymore. They've quit playing him.
Well, Ben plays who's ever playing best at the time and probably considering matchups.
Right.
Tate Sage must not have practiced as good lately. He hasn't played as much lately.
Yeah, although they both got in the game at the end this week.
Yeah, Sturt's actually he played the first 38 minutes and he got to sit down the last 2 minutes because we were ahead by 20.
Yeah.
Well, you got to think on these stats. Points per game, we're averaging 78. They're averaging 78.3. Field goal percentage, we're shooting 50%. They're shooting 44.9. We're averaging 8.2 3-points a game made, and they're averaging 6.8 3-point shots made. I mean, free throw percentage, we're both shooting 77.5%.
Oh, we're good. We're a good free throw shooting team.
Right. We got to get.
I remember when the Iowa record for a team was the Miller 6-pack, and it was like 78.1 or something. That was a team school record. What is their 3-point percentage is more important than how many they make.
Washington shoots 31.8% 3-point shooting.
Okay. So we don't, that's not great.
No.
No. So
they average more rebounds per game than we do.
Well, they're 6'11".
Right.
I guess I didn't copy this well enough.
More assists. We average more assists a game. We average more steals a game. And we're just under 9.7 turnovers a game. So, and they're averaging 10.2 turnovers a game.
So they don't turn the ball over much either.
No.
So I bet they're maybe a slower paced team. Maybe.
Yeah. What is did you say it? But what are each team giving up defensively, point wise?
Iowa was not. I don't know if you said 59 points for Iowa.
I don't know. I didn't get that stat. I'll have to look it up here.
I thought you had it there at the beginning, but
No, that was points per game that we average.
yeah. Obviously,
So-
both teams average about the same number of points a game. So obviously Washington gives up a lot more points because they have almost got their winning record's not very good.
Right.
Compared to ours.
The pace, Iowa 62.9, Washington 67.5.
Oh,
Okay.
So
if you look at these stats on paper, this game should come down to the wire.
It usually does.
But the thing is, Iowa's 3-3 all time against Washington.
Well, darn, you took away my thunder. I was going to ask you guys to tell me how many wins you think we've had against Washington.
but Washington leads 2-1 in Seattle when the game is at Alaska Airlines Arena.
Yep.
So,
yeah, I hope we come out and win this. I gotta believe, if I'm the odds makers, that Washington is probably favored to win this game.
No, Iowa is.
Are they?
Well, yeah. Washington's 12-10.
2.5.
Iowa on the
Iowa has not played the schedule.
Iowa on the ESPN predictor, I think, is a 58% chance of winning.
Yeah.
Even if it's on the road.
But when you look at Washington's schedule, they haven't played the same. It's an imbalanced schedule, Iowa.
Yeah.
What they played versus what they played. You've got to look at who they play right now. It's it's not a fair comparison.
All right,
I know
their schedule.
Who you play is figured in the net, and I know Iowa's the number 19 team in the country. I would venture to guess that Washington's not in the top 50, but I could be wrong.
So starting on December 3rd, Washington played home against UCLA, at USC, and then you go start of the first of the year at Indiana, at Purdue, and then home against Ohio State, home against Michigan, home against Michigan State, and then at Nebraska, home against Oregon, at Illinois, at Northwestern. So
that's a murderer's row.
And I'm going to guess that they beat Northwestern. I can't remember who they won.
Yep. Lost against Illinois, won against Oregon, lost against Nebraska, only by 10. Lost Michigan State by 17. Lost to Michigan by 10. Won against Ohio State. Lost at Purdue by 10. Lost to Indiana by 10. So I get it. I get Washington's schedule, but you got to play who's on your schedule, basically.
Yeah.
That's what it comes down to.
Yeah, I'll take, for the first time in my life, an Iowa team winning two straight games on the West Coast. I'm praying that we come out of here with a win, please. I want us to be in fourth or fifth place. By the end of the week, I want to be in fourth or fifth place in the Big Ten. So
speaking of that, let's go over the current standings that I have right here. Yep. I meant to, guys, I forgot to send them to the thing so I could put this up for everybody. But tied for first place, Illinois and Michigan at 10-1.
They're both good, and Illinois plays home against Michigan here either this weekend or next weekend.
Cool. All right,
that's
Michigan State and Nebraska are tied next. I guess I'll call it for third place at 9-2. Purdue at 8-3. Wisconsin at 8-3. Then UCLA at 7-4. Iowa at 6-4. So 1, 2, 3, 4. We're 8th place. And I kind of predicted that's kind of where we'd finish this year.
If we wouldn't have got the flu, though, we'd probably be in the top 4.
Right.
We'd have 2 more wins.
Yeah, at least 2 more wins.
It would put us tied with Purdue and Wisconsin. All righty.
And at Purdue, we were up that game too.
Yeah.
They're up by 9.
Oh, speaking of which, Iowa has a sellout against Purdue to finish the season.
I hope 3,000 of them people ain't wearing Purdue jerseys, but
Pulling off an Illinois trick.
that's what I thought of as soon as I seen we finally got a sellout. You know, all of a sudden we sold 5,000 more tickets, and I thought, oh boy, it ain't that far to drive from Indiana. But
Yeah.
anyway,
Okay, and then of course Indiana comes in behind Iowa at 6-5, Ohio State 6-5, USC at 5-6, Washington at 4-7, Minnesota 3-8, Northwestern 2-9, Rutgers at 2-9, Maryland at 1-9, Oregon at 1-10, and Penn State at 1-10, and then the other two teams I didn't even get. I cut them off.
yeah.
So with all the teams in the Big Ten, how do they do it for the Big Ten tournament? Is it everybody or is it the top like 9?
Everybody.
Okay.
This year it's
Everybody.
everybody.
Everybody
Remember
gets
last
in.
year, they only took the top 15 teams, and Iowa's last game was basically who was the other team? Nebraska was a play-in game to be the top 15 team and get left out of the tournament.
No.
That's why I was asking because of that last year.
Yeah.
Yeah,
This year it's everybody.
It's kind of screwy. Everybody gets in. If you're in the top 4 teams, you get 3 buys. If you're in the top 8 teams, which Iowa, hopefully, I have a pretty good idea Iowa will be in the top 8.
Oh, for
and
sure.
they'll get 2 buys. So they get to sit for 2 days and watch the other teams play each other.
They have to play 4 games to win it.
Yeah.
But the thing about that is I rather just keep playing instead of just sitting there, because the longer you sit, it just it kind of ruins the rhythm.
So the
I
teams,
don't want to play 5 days in a row.
Nah, that's true.
So what about the teams? What about the teams that are going to have a 3-day layoff or 3-round bye? Top 4, I believe, have
them top 4 teams, which will be Michigan, Illinois, Purdue, and maybe Nebraska.
I would say at this time compared
the first 2 you pick, Illinois and Michigan, are so much better than everybody else. Oh, I forgot about Michigan State. They might knock Purdue or Nebraska out of that top 4.
Yeah, I can see
them first 2 teams, Illinois and Michigan, are so much better. Personnel wise, talent. Hell, sitting ain't gonna bother them.
No,
they're too good.
All righty. Okay. I don't have anything else on Washington right now. I think we kind of covered everything. So
just don't turn the ball over. Get to the free throw line.
Yeah. I'm not sure where to start with the women. We lost to USC and UCLA, as everybody knows. I don't think anybody of us thought that Iowa would win against UCLA. We were kind of hopeful, but not. Hopeful is always good, but realization is another thing.
Exactly.
And it was a terrible time to take a road trip out west without Taylor McCabe.
Yeah.
Oh, 100%.
It just seems like, but she was out there. She went on the road trip, and I realized she wasn't on the floor, but couldn't she? She could do her little leadership skills from the bench.
Oh, yeah. She could be a coach, basically.
A lot of times, if you have an ACL that's out, hell, you walk around normal.
Yeah.
Kirk Ferentz, until he got his knees replaced, went without an ACL since high school. Brett Bielema took out his ACL at Iowa, and he played. He literally played the next week because he decided, I'm not going to get it operated on because I don't want my career. I don't want to miss a game. And
we had a wrestler win a national championship with no ACLs.
Yeah, Brett Bielema still don't have that ACL, but that's why they cut him in the NFL. They said, hey, you don't have an ACL. We're not going to let you play. So, it's no big deal for Taylor to be walking around
Right.
and everything. She
Yeah.
just was going to rip up her knee if she tried jumping and cutting and all that stuff.
Well, there's
Probably.
one thing. Yeah, she can't. We can't have her out there on the floor during the game. But rumors have it, people have been watching her shoot, going out and shooting from the 3-point line. She's swishing them still. It didn't affect her jump shot.
Yeah, you can actually still, just shoot the ball. It's basically you're working on your form.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, maybe she must shoot threes like Alvaro Figueres. He doesn't even jump when he shoots a 3-pointer.
No.
Just
Taylor usually doesn't
up on his tippy toes.
Tippy
and
toes.
then
that's the way he shoots them.
He does. Yeah, he does.
Well, it works for him. So another thing on Taylor is she's made it be known that she wants to get into coaching, and she would like to be with Sydney Fulter leaving after this season to move on. She would like to be the next student grad assistant.
Yeah. That's what I said. She can coach.
Yeah.
Off the bench.
Yeah. What Jan said is when she came to Jan and talked to her about it, she tried to discourage her and said, "You've got a degree in engineering. Use your degree." And then she said, the more they talked, the more she realized that, then she started giving her the virtues of coaching and what it was, the profession and everything. I think she didn't want to squash her spirit and thinking, oh, shoot, I'm basically telling her not to be a coach.
What's so ironic about that was Taylor McCabe, playing with Caitlin Clark and Gabby Marshall and Kate Martin. After either the first or second year at Iowa, she was going to transfer. And the only reason she did not transfer, and this is out of Taylor McCabe's mouth herself, was her engineering credits would not transfer to the schools that she wanted to transfer to. They weren't transferable. So now she's going to give up engineering. Talk about ironic, that, now she's going to give up engineering. So it didn't make any sense not to transfer.
That's insane. But on the other hand, she can actually coach like the guards and, coach, the shooting guards, off guard. And, she can not draw plays up, but hey, what am I doing wrong? They can come to her for advice.
She can help them with shooting as a grad assistant, but
yes,
it's like Sydney Fulter. If you're a grad assistant at Iowa, you don't do much coaching.
Not really.
What you do is go get film ready, and you do a lot of errand running for the other assistant coaches. Is what you actually do. But
I guess.
The coaches test you to see if you're ready to do the work.
Yeah.
If you're willing to do it.
Yeah.
We're not going to get into too much on the USC and UCLA losses and stats and things, just because it's old news by now. We're moving on. Thursday night at 4:00 my time, I think 6:00 your time, the women will take on Minnesota, and I just happen to have some stats.
Imagine that.
Yay!
Yeah, imagine that.
Golf clap. I've been hearing about Minnesota.
Here's a Minnesota team that don't turn the ball over much. So.
No, they're smart, and their pace of play is very slow. So don't be surprised if they take that shot clock near 5 and fire away wherever they're at. So
well,
go ahead,
by the
Dean.
way, another thing is Bluter's on the color call on Thursday night.
Okay.
Usually with Bluter on the call, we start winning some games when she's doing it. So I guess she's our luck,
Yeah. All right. So Iowa leads the series 61-27. Minnesota's current record is 16-6 overall and 7-4.
They're
this
not
is
bad
really good for Minnesota. They've really struggled over the years or been on the verge of getting over the hump. I think they're over the hump this year. They're on a 4-game winning streak, taking down Oregon, Wisconsin, Penn State, and Purdue. Granted, not the cream of the cream, but it's enough to get you going and get you motivated when you go to Iowa City and you want to place a team like Iowa, who's everybody has penciled in the top 2 or 3 seeds in the tournament already. Okay, Minnesota is net ranking is 10.
Yeah, their schedule's pretty brutal.
Yeah, 2-5 versus quad 1.
Well, that's what a lot of teams are against quad 1. But you said their net ranking is 10.
That's what it said on the thing.
Are you talking about 10th in the Big Ten? Not 10th in the country. Iowa's 10th in the country.
Yeah.
Iowa's net ranking is 10. You
Okay.
didn't you didn't write down Iowa's net ranking, did you?
No, they didn't give me that one. This was coming from the Minnesota official stat page.
Okay.
Okay. So I could have that wrong. All right. Now let's compare. Minnesota beat UCLA 63-62, and we lost by 18 to USC.
Yeah.
But Minnesota was at home when they won.
Yeah, and UCLA probably wasn't ready to play. And Minnesota's a good team. Don't get me wrong. But.
I know.
Right.
I just feel like we're a better team and we should beat them.
Again,
I think we will, as long as we're going to miss Taylor McCabe, but
right.
hopefully Addie Deal gets out of her butterflies in her stomach and comes out and has an Addie Deal game and everything. So
Okay, so let me
or
right now they're big gun.
Or please play Journey Houston a lot more.
Yep.
Please.
I think you think could she start in place of both Deal and
She's a small forward. She's a small forward. She is not. They've been playing her power forward because we don't have a backup power forward to Hannah. Journey Houston's more of a small forward than Kylie Feuerbach is. Much better scorer and
Make her come off the bench like usual. Keep that routine coming. You know, she's answering the call whenever her name gets called.
Okay, so here's the top 5 guns that we need to worry about. Grace Grochaliski, 13.4 points.
This is gonna be fun.
4.8 rebounds. What's that?
This is fun watching you try to pronounce these names because I would screw it up too. So we're not laughing at you; we're laughing with you.
Okay. Tori McKinney, 13.2 points a game. I got that one right.
Good job.
Myra Braun, a guard, 11 points a game. Here's the name that everybody's familiar with. Amaya Battle, 9.9 a game. Sophie Hart, she's the center, 9.9 a game, 6 rebounds a game. And so I'm looking to see how many blocks she has since she's the senior. Only 0.2. I'm sorry, 0.6. I would expect to see. I mean,
most women don't block a lot of shots. You know,
Ava Hyde does.
Does she? I don't know. I don't know. I remember Wisconsin had that real good player last year, and she blocked 4-point-some shots a game. Now she's on UConn's team.
That Battle girl is from Hopkins, Minnesota. I've seen Hopkins play before in high school. Battle's been there for several years. So is Braun and Battle's going into the season. You thought they were going to be their stars, but that girl that's leading the team in scoring and that girl leads the team in scoring. She gets some rebounds, and I think she shoots like over 40% from 3-point territory too. So
one thing you don't know is
Minnetonka, Hopkins, Maple Grove. like I've recognized a lot of these Minnesota schools because I've watched them play like those type of high schools before. They can put up the points. Eden Prairie. So, I mean, it'll be tough. Just, again, we got to take care of the basketball, get to the free throw line, knock down threes, key threes.
And speed the game up.
Yes.
Speed the game up. If they want to play slow, they only got 6 players that are really good. Get a couple of them. Make a couple of them girls get in foul trouble, and it's your game.
Yeah.
You know?
Speed them up, beat them in transition. They're gonna foul you regardless because they can't keep up of the pace.
Well, here's Battle is their leading rebounder at 7.1, and she's a guard. You don't see guards be a leading rebounder much. Battle also's 3.8 on assist, their leader. Mm-hmm. And McKinney is their leading steal person, 1.8.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. They don't turn the ball. They don't turn the ball over much, and so that's how they win games.
Right.
Do they hit 3-pointers worth of damn, or doesn't they know?
Could you? I didn't get that stat. Could you pick that up? I thought I had it.
Yeah. I know that number one scorer shoots 40%. I've seen that on threes. They had the 4 major points playing Minnesota listed there in their article, and their player to watch. Before the season, everybody thought it was going to be Braun and Battle, and here it's that other girl, But
okay, they shoot 34% on the season for 3-pointers.
The team
is 73% on free throws, 45% on field goals.
Yeah, if you shoot over
the ball 10 times a game,
33% from 3 is the same as shooting 50% from the field. So 34 is good enough,
right?
To be a decent team. So.
Yeah,
and only playing with 6 players. So again, run them, beat them in transition, make them foul you. Iowa will foul out. They will foul out because they can't keep up with the pace of Iowa. So,
wait a minute. You said that they're playing with only 6 players?
They got 6 players that are really good.
Yeah.
They probably got 14 players, but I'm talking about after them first 6, if I remember right, they got a bunch. The scoring averages drop off precipitously.
Yeah, considerably. Yeah. They have one girl up in the top 3 that's only played 18 of the 22 games this year. I do not know if that means that she was injured for 4 games and is now back, or she's missed the last 4 games.
She might be like Chit Chat was,
Yeah.
Had a temporary injury or something, but
yeah. But yeah, it does seem like that. But I think Iowa's kind of the same way. I think after you get past our top 5 or 6, we don't have much going on either. When you look at the stats,
but before our injuries, before McCabe left and before Rodriguez was a scorer to begin the season, for 3-4 games, still we got guys on the bench like. I think Journey Houston has had a bunch of games where she scored over 10 points, and Addie Deal, Addie Deal for 1 week, I think she averaged 17 points or more, maybe 18.
I hope she gets back whatever Addie went through in this slump in California. I mean, let's face it, she didn't look good, but
she looks scared.
Yeah,
that's just my thing. I think she's scared.
Yeah, I said on the podcast last week that I thought it was crazy to throw her in the starting lineup in her home state against the 2 best defensive teams.
Nope.
The 2 best defensive teams in the Big Ten. The other defensive teams in the Big Ten that are usually good are Maryland and Ohio State, and this year. They're not very deep teams, but UCLA and USC was so athletic, I thought it was. I didn't think it was a good idea with Deal, but
that's kind of what I wanted to point out. Is I definitely noticed that in the USC game, they were definitely more athletic. They were taller, and their wingspan was crazy. And as we had mentioned earlier in the preview, that their defense was very aggressive, and they didn't disappoint. They really didn't. I just don't know how many other teams that we're going to play this year that are athletic as USC. I didn't think UCLA was that athletic, but they were more finesse team, it looked like to me.
Well, UCLA is so big.
Yeah.
6'7", and then the power forward 6'4" or 5", and then that shooting player.
Rice.
Well, the Rice is a All-American, but I'm talking about the foreign girl, Stojevic. I don't know what her name was. She's like 6'3", small forward, and she's shooting like 45% from three. Yeah. I think she wasn't she the one that led them in scoring, like 23 points or something?
That's just How did the coaches find all these tall players and get them? I know people were saying they want Jan to fill up. They want Jan to find a couple of big players on the transfer portal.
Well, Jan recruited Betts out of high school. She played with Addie O'Grady, the year younger, and it's easy to find them. All you got to have is a tape measure. I mean, it is
not wrong.
Okay, wait, I'm going to refine it.
Every high school girl at 6'5" or 6" gets recruited.
Yep.
Unless they trip over their own feet. But Betts, and then when Betts went to Stanford, and then she played with Brink, and then she transferred to UCLA, and Jan, not Jan, but Lisa tried to get her. Lisa needed a post player because Shizano was leaving, and Lisa wanted Betts, or she wanted Morrow, who was at Northwestern, and both of them had no contact orders, and if you contacted them behind the scenes, they just said not interested.
Right.
And of course, Lisa at that time publicly said, "I have no money anyway," and they would have cost hundreds of thousands of dollars. The next year, when we got Lucy, we finally some money became available.
Yeah,
and we spent it.
But the thing is, when you get these girls, they're on AU teams. That's a big thing. When you're on an AU team, you're going to get recruited by a lot of people and a lot of schools.
Yeah, it's
also, it's
It's like now Jan has tried for the very top ones now.
For sure. Yep.
Lisa had more of the mindset of Kirk, Caitlin Clark and some of these neighboring state girls that show interest in Iowa, we go for them.
Right.
But it's like Jan is different. She's shooting for the moon, and then you strike out 90% of the time. I counted the McDonald's All-American team came out today, and of course Wolitz goes on it. Well, we had Vacuso, Hartbring, Lewis, Wolitzko, Greenway, Bjorn, Trinity Jones, and Kupel. That's 8 players off the McDonald's 24 players visited Iowa. Another 2 or 3, we tried to get them to visit, and we offered them. Jersey Robinson and the Lily Williams up in Michigan. We shot for the moon, and we only got one of them. Well, let's go. So if you're it's amazing, isn't it? The best players get a lot of offers.
Yeah.
And they go to some of the best programs, like Vacuso went to UConn. Lewis went to Notre Dame. Hartbring, where the hell did she go? North Carolina? I don't know where she went. Bjorn went to Texas. Texas is one of the top 3-4 teams in the country.
But these girls, a lot of them are going to find themselves sitting on the bench for a season or two. because those teams are stacked. UConn's stacked. South Carolina's stacked. LSU is stacked. Texas is getting stacked. You know, you can only play so many players.
Right.
Well, it's nice if you can have, you know, the best team in America from 1 to 12 on your roster.
You would think.
Are you going to keep them happy?
Probably not, because they're not getting the playing time. But when you have to sit, when you got these McDonald's All-Americans, yeah, you're going to have to sit.
Well, same things happens at Iowa.
Yep.
You know, I'm sure Ava Hayden wasn't happy that she didn't get to play a lot until the last few games of the season.
But she learned and developed.
Obviously, Miss Guyton probably wasn't real happy, wanted to play more.
And look at her, she started at Illinois.
Addie Deal's our first McDonald's All-American in a long time, and you know she hasn't played a whole hell of a lot until the last couple weeks. But.
Yeah. But that's what I'm saying is at some of these other schools. But I think at a school like Iowa, you know, granted Iowa is young, so I'm not sure if the recruits are looking at that, thinking that next year when our sophomore class are juniors, they're going to have the bulk of the playing time probably, along with Addie Deal. And, you know, Velisco will probably not start. She'll probably just come in off the bench.
Like
but,
Deal's
you know,
doing
Journey
right
Houston
now.
will probably earn herself a starting job next year.
I would think Velisco will just step right in at power forward because we don't have another power forward on the team.
Nope.
She's awfully skinny to be a Big Ten power forward, but boy, she's skilled. You know,
she can shoot it. She can get to the rim very quickly. She's quick. For her height, she is quick to the rim.
Okay. All right, guys, keeping things moving. Let's talk about the women's standings right now. I'm sorry. Where'd it go? I had it. I'll get it. Don't worry.
UCLA and then Michigan second, and Iowa's tied for third, I believe.
That is correct. And then you got Michigan State at 8-3, Washington, Minnesota at 7-4 each, Illinois at 6-5, Maryland at 5-6, Nebraska at 5-6. Those are two teams I didn't expect to see those kind of records, but the season's got a long ways to go yet. Oregon at 5-6, Wisconsin at 5-6, USC at 5-6. You got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You got 5 teams at 5-6.
5-6 ain't a very good record.
No. What I was trying to point out there, though, those are right after the top teams in the league.
But some of them 5-6 teams can go beat Iowa. You know, they can go beat Michigan State. You know, and
so far, everyone that we've faced, we beat, except USC.
USC and UCLA are the only losses we got. You know, I thought a little bit ago you said Minnesota beat UCLA by 1 point. Ain't UCLA undefeated?
No.
They
USC,
lost one.
I said.
Oh, USC.
What?
I said USC.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
I said
UCLA.
It was a slip of the tongue.
UCLA, I think, has one loss, and that was against either UConn or Texas beat them.
Yeah. Okay. Then we got Purdue at 3-8,
Texas,
Northwestern at 2-9, and Indiana bringing up the rear at 1-10. Holy cow!
Indiana finally won a game. Indiana finally won a game the other day. I think they beat Northwestern or something. They were literally ahead by 30 points, and Northwestern cut it down to single digits there in the fourth quarter, but I think Indiana stretched it out. But
okay. Anyway, okay, and this next thing I want to hi boy. Okay. But anyway, this guy who posts a lot of articles in his own words, a lot on my website, Talking Iowa Hawkeye Sports on Facebook. His name is Rich Edie. Or Eddie. It could be Eddie. He posted the bracket predictions that included Iowa. And some interesting stats here in this. This is sending Iowa to the Fort Worth section. Iowa, a 3 seed. would be playing Montana State the first game, and then the winner of Virginia Tech, Alabama, the second game. So they would be at home.
That would be at home.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
In another bracket, Nebraska and Iowa State. Nebraska 7 seed, Iowa State a 10 seed. And it'd be at LSU's home floor. Number 2 seed versus Eastern Kentucky. The winners would play each other. Do you guys think that Iowa State is a little under-seeded there at 10?
No, they lost 5 games in a row.
Exactly.
But it's with their injuries. They're getting their injured people back now.
Yeah,
They're gonna start kicking butt now.
I think Iowa State is less underrated than the Penn State football team was. The Penn State football team had great talent, 3 deep. Iowa State has talent of a starting 5 with not a lot of bench, and when 2 of their starters are injured, they're a bad team.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
Oh, for sure.
Penn State football played Indiana off their feet. They played us a good game. You know, that's underrated in my opinion, even though they were 6-5 or 6-6, whatever they ended up.
Penn State's a really good football team. Not many people can give Penn State that enough
But
credit.
Anyway, that's my comparison.
Okay.
No, I get it.
Alrighty. Guys, let me finish this real quick, okay? In this bracket would be number 1, South Carolina, Chattanooga, Illinois and Syracuse, Princeton, North Dakota State, TCU, and Western Illinois. That would be Iowa's entire bracket that they have to get through.
One game at a time. When we get there.
If they win their first 2 games, their next game would be against LSU.
And
if they win that game, then they're probably playing South Carolina in the Elite 8.
Yeah, if you're the number 3 seed, you just sweating it out when you have to play the number 1 and 2 seed. So
yeah,
it's like you remember the year Lisa Bluter made it to the Elite 8 with Gustafson.
Right.
Iowa, you know, Lisa had never made it to a Sweet 16 at Iowa in her 18 years coaching, however many it was before that. And she got so lucky that year because Stanford got upset and another team got upset. So Iowa had a very easy road to go play Baylor in the Final 8. Of course, when we played Baylor and then we play Baylor and then you lose by 40 or 38, whatever it was. But
was that with when Baylor had Griner?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it was Griner. They had somebody that was really tall that Gustafson couldn't even. Gustafson had scored like, I don't know, 60 some. Good. I think Gustafson had scored like 80 some games in a row with double figures, and she ended up with 9 points. So,
by the way, that was the Elite 8 that she used to flip Caitlin Clark from Notre Dame to Iowa.
Well, it was one of her reasonings to tell Caitlin, hey, look, we got to the Final 8. We can go farther with you.
Yeah, and you'll pick us there. And I remember Caitlin when she...
That was a lot of luck, like I told you, with the upsets happening before Iowa. Every round, Iowa was, oh, no, we got to play Stanford. Oh, shit, they got upset. How did that happen? You know,
then there was like at UCLA, everybody was worried about playing UCLA. Oh, they got beat too.
Yeah.
Again,
I can't. I know Stanford was one of them, but that was damn lucky. So,
guys, I got to take a quick break, but I want to move on to football now. If you guys could start talking about the position groups there.
Okay.
Go ahead, K-Dog. You got
okay. We'll just start out with a simple one. It's pretty simple. Is the specialists. We know that the place kicker is either going to be our transfer Ozick or our really good place kicker from Bettendorf High School, who's a redshirt freshman.
I just read that. I forgot about that.
Okay, but anyway, I would expect Ozick to be so good that he'll probably start at punter.
Right.
Of course, we got the walk-on guy from Simpson who averaged 43.6 yards in college last year, and we got I call him Doc Everett from Australia because he's going to be a doctor. I think his first name is Boston, maybe, and he's
Boston
on
Everett.
scholarship. Yeah, that's what I just said.
Yeah.
He's from Australia.
Yeah.
And of course, he's going to cost some money to get here. You would kind of expect that he'll probably beat out the kid from Simpson, but I wouldn't jump to that conclusion. You know, it might be good that he redshirts 1 year and has 5 years at Iowa.
Yeah.
I wouldn't jump to the conclusion, but I expect the Aussie to probably start.
Yeah.
You have any comments on the kickers or punters, you guys?
Well, the Aussie guy's going to start on the punter.
Yeah. Might have to agree with you on that. But that Ozick, man, when you average, when you have 54 touchbacks and you're averaging 63 yards a kick, I mean, you got to throw him in the mix.
You mean as a kicker?
Yeah, as a kicker, yeah. You would think to add him in that with those kinds of stats and being a second team AP FCS All-American.
Okay.
I would think he'd be the odds-on favorite, but I'm not.
Right.
That Burr kid looked damn good. He kicked a 56-yarder in high school.
Yeah, I read that.
He kicks the. I know what LeVar said about him. He just kicks the ball different than Drew did. Drew's more of a line drive kicker, kicks it a little lower, and Burr's a higher.
Yeah, he's like way up top.
He puts it up. He puts it up higher, so it's not going to be blocked. But them guys that drill them, usually their percentage of makes is a little better. But I just think both of them. Well, I know that both of them. We don't know who's going to start. It's going to be a competition, This Aussie kid is punted for like 8 months, and I'm sure he's got a lot of talent, but, never played football before, but
and Ozick's got the experience, so I give it to Ozick, and I want to see what he can do.
Yeah.
Guys,
and then you got punt. If you're not going to, I don't know if you're done with your punting or kicking comments or not.
I was just going to ask you. I forgot who are the two place kickers? I forgot already.
Ozick, who's from the FCS kicker, and Burr, Caden Burr, who's from Bettendorf, Iowa. He was a true freshman this year that was in competition with our All-American kicker.
Okay, alrighty.
They're both talented guys. And then long snapper, of course, we got the high school long snapper who was supposed to be top 30 in the country, which don't mean nothing. No. And we got Speltz, who's in his second or third year at Iowa as a long snapper. See who comes out there. Speltz is a sophomore, and Philippot is the punter from Simpson. Then you want to talk about punt returner. LeVar kind of spilled it that he thought Lutmer, they were going to try him at punt returning because the way he runs, the way he catches the ball kind of reminded him of DeJean. He's mentioned KJ Parker in that position. And then he mentioned Jackson Nave, who he said reminds him very much of Wet Jet. But I don't know whether he meant punt return, kick return. People mentioned it's a way difference between a punt returner and a kick returner. Kick returner's a lot of straight on speed.
Right.
Punt returner, you got to run crooked a lot.
Right.
And we have a new special teams person now.
Yeah, but
coach, so he might do things a little bit different. He might,
Well,
and I agree with Kelvin said about catching. Punts are, you catch them on a bounce, your momentum is going all the way forward, like it's just go, and that's why Region did such a good job catching it either on the run or on a bounce, and that's why he made people miss, and then took the speed on the outside.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But don't forget, part of the plan is when they kicked the ball to Weegan, is they had their blockers set up on special teams already to keep some of these guys away from him so that he had that open space to go. If you notice his best returns, his blockers in front of him were already in place to give him some space.
Well,
yeah, that's called special teams.
Yeah,
That's
what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, kickoff return or punt return, and then they have special. Usually on a kickoff return, they have they kind of know what part of the field they're going to return it to. It's set up. They got different plays and stuff like that. Now, as far as the ball bouncing on the punt return, a punt returner is never supposed to let the ball bounce.
No, but
that was a bad.
Different. Yeah.
But we got Sherman, who's been under Woods for years. We got Polizzi, who's been here before and was here last year.
Mm-hmm.
They know the Iowa special teams, and Iowa's always had great special teams. Always have. The whole time Kirk's been here.
Yep.
And then this week I heard the rumor that I told Dean yesterday that they say that Jay Norvell, who lost his head coaching job at Colorado State's probably going to possibly hang here all year helping out.
Well, they do need another
in the Iowa coaching facility as probably an analyst or a paid something or other, but he's going to help out with special teams.
Okay. So I kind of thought that, because we still need an offensive analyst, you know what I mean?
Jay's coached every position in college, I think. He's been offensive coordinator, even though he had no offensive background in college. He was a safety at Iowa, and of course, Seth Wallace is universally known as one of the top 5 defensive coaches in America, and of course, Seth Wallace was never a defensive player. He was a wide receiver at Coe College, so it doesn't. If you know how to coach, you know how to coach is the way I look at it.
Right.
But other guys on the kickoff return, when I started talking about kickoff return, people mentioned Brevin Dahl and McNeil, the running back from Florida. He was back there some last year.
I can see him doing it.
And some of these, like the transfer Haddad from Ohio State, he was a tremendous punt and kick returner in high school in Ohio. He might be a punt returner too. He kind of reminds you of Riley Moss or something, the way he plays football. And then Fred Jackson's boy, Braden Jackson, he was getting reps as a kick returner, I heard, this December. So they'll figure that out,
All right, guys.
Any comments you guys got on specialists? Or
no, I'm all right with that.
Do we have another position group you want to talk about, or can I move on to wrestling?
How long have we been on?
Hour and 13.
Hour and 14 minutes.
Yeah.
We can move on if you want to. We have defensive tackles to do, and defensive backs. It's kind of a quagmire for your brain, Dean, when we look at these position groups because of all the transfers.
Yeah.
You don't know how good they are.
I want to hold those position groups for the next podcast.
Okay.
Hey, I got a little bit more homework to do. I got to do the defensive tackles. I got most of the defensive backs done. So I got, which is good. Hey, it gives me something to do.
Like I said, good luck with it, Kyle, because it's like mind boggling.
It is. You're trying to remember who's belongs to who and what position, and my hand started to cramp when I finished up. I'm like, holy jeez, I didn't know I could write that much.
Yeah, guys, I need to get through this wrestling piece real quick.
Go,
and
fire away.
Then we got to end this thing because my body's shutting down.
Uh-oh.
Okay. You're so weak.
I know it. Tell me about it.
Have you ate yet?
Hey,
Okay,
can I
Iowa.
mention something? Can I mention something before we go on?
Yeah, go ahead.
Real quick. You weren't on the last podcast.
Nope, I was doing my dog cast. Yeah.
Yeah. But anyway, we had the great debate on here about Brandon Sturts. You know, it was how much he should rest, whatever. And the other thing was that it was said by other people on here that Sturts gave up all them points by that UCLA guard was his name Woods or something?
Yes.
So the next day I got up and lo and behold, the Big Ten Network had the gall-darn game on. I almost used
the
the word.
replay. Yeah, the replay.
Yeah, that was. Yeah, it was not live. It was on. If it was on the next day, it wasn't live. You're very bright, Kyle.
I'm just saying, but you know.
Anyway, so I watched the whole game, and I kept saying on there, Sturts did not guard that guy. What are you guys talking about? Only when they switched. And of course, somebody went ballistic on me, you know, like this and like this. And anyway, I watched the whole game, and Sturts guarded the guy once the whole game, and Sturts blocked his shot. And then they said Sturts ain't a good defensive player. Sturts one of the best defensive players on the team, but Sturts was guarding their good guys, their big guards.
Yeah,
like Arenas's boy. And Sturts actually got near that guy while he was shooting twice in the whole game. It was Cale Combs. Cale Combs guarded him the whole game. And then once in a while he'd switch off. Like the last shot of the game, Manyow ended up on him, thank God, and he missed a three. But anyway, I wanted to point out that, hey, the great debate was solved by actually watching the game over again.
All righty.
Go ahead with your wrestling.
This weekend, Iowa wrestling is going to take on Ohio State Friday night and Michigan State, I believe, on Saturday or Sunday. Iowa versus Ohio State in wrestling. This is kind of a flip-flop from Ohio State dominating Iowa in football. Iowa dominates Ohio State in wrestling. We've got 42 dual wins to their 5 dual wins. However, we lost to Ohio State earlier this year in the National Duels Championship matches meet. We lost 27-12, and we did not look good. All of our main guys all lost in that match for some reason. And none of our guys are faring well. We've got a lot. Drake Ayala and Block, who have never won against Ohio State's guys. You got Patrick Kennedy, who's 1-2 against the current person in his weight class, Carson Carrilla. So we got that one to where, guys, this could easily, if we don't come out and wrestle really hard, this could easily be another blowout loss. You know, we've already lost to Minnesota. I mean, we actually, guys, we're going to talk about wrestling later, probably Friday night during the meet, kind of trying to get this set up to where we talk about the Ohio State meet live with my nephew, who is a former college wrestler and knows a lot of the Iowa wrestlers currently. And I think he could be able to kind of talk about a little bit about the inner workings and why things don't seem to be going well for the Brands brothers. Now, while the fans are getting tired of him, his wrestlers have come out publicly and are backing him. They love wrestling for him.
What they should be.
Yeah, they love wrestling for him. They say they're doing all the right things. It's just that we don't see it. We don't see it from the Gable era or even Brand's early years when Iowa was an aggressive, attacking wrestling team. You know, we're getting the ones now where we're kind of like wrestling not to lose the matches anymore. And we're getting stall calls for it. It's like Brand said, he said 2 of his people quit wrestling when there was still time on the clock, and I think those guys had leads, both of them.
Do you know who they were?
I'm trying to remember on my top of my head.
I couldn't get to watch. I couldn't watch the damn thing because I love wrestling. I've watched wrestling ever since the mid-'70s. you know, and I love watching it, and I couldn't watch it because it's on BTN Plus. So
Yeah, I have to go back and try to figure it out. I can't remember. I'm pretty sure I
yeah,
know who they are. I
I
just
know
can't
enough
remember.
about I know enough about wrestling that this Ohio State meet does not look good for us.
No.
Even though Ayala, who I didn't get to watch, but Ayala all of a sudden came on lately, you know.
I think his last three matches, he's
He's tech balling people, and
he's come on really good.
yeah, that's a good sign. But it does not look good individually against Ohio State. And I will point out that Coach Ryan at Ohio State's one of my favorite Hawkeyes. He transferred in from Syracuse. Gable would take a transfer once in a while. You know, he'd take Ray Brinzer and Kistler boy from Arizona State and stuff. But it does not look good. But I will say the way some of our individual wrestlers, we could score better at the nationals than we do in a dual meet, is what I'm saying.
But we need to be attacking more. We need to be going for takedowns. And I said this in the group chat the other night, but I didn't realize you weren't watching it. Why aren't we working for pins? Is a pin not a thing anymore? It seems like we're not working toward pins anymore. There was one of our guys working for a pin. He ended up with a technical. He got a win with the technical fall call. But he did work for a pin. He almost got his guy pinned. He just ran out of time.
Yeah, we you know, our biggest pinner's injured, right? Ferrari.
Yeah.
Ferrari.
And I don't know. I think it's a quad injury. I seen him hurt it. But, you know, I think was we wrestling Penn State or somebody? And it was a very close match. And after he started muscling with his muscle right above his knee, he couldn't, you know, the match was pretty much over. He just slimly got beat, maybe in overtime or something.
But it's really sad.
But he's our pinner. But yeah, we don't have a bunch of pinners.
No.
You know, we don't have a bunch of aggressive wrestlers. That's what
I think that's what's
I don't know what's wrong. Every time I talk to these former Iowa wrestlers, they like clam up. You know, I talked to several of them, and they go, we got to recruit different people. And I said to them, we have bought so many high-ranked recruits. We got so much freaking money. It pisses me off. And excuse me if I piss off any of them ex-wrestlers. But they're all so loyal to our head coach because he's an ex-Hawkeye. And I love Tom and Terry Brands. Don't get me wrong. But but you know, we spend all this money on these big recruits and all these big transfers. We get these transfers from other schools. They're at East Tennessee State or Tennessee Chattanooga or Wartburg or some damn place, and they're third or fourth place All-Americans. And then they come to Iowa and they're not third or fourth place All-Americans. All of a sudden they're ranked 8th, 9th, and 10th. By the way,
one transfer last year won a national championship. One transfer won a national championship last year.
What's his name? Williams or?
I'm slipping my mind right now.
Yeah, I can see him. But anyway, did you know Endine went into the portal?
Yes, he went into the portal. I was just going to say, speaking of our Wartburg guy, I understand that he's probably headed back to Wartburg.
Yeah, probably wants to be with his wife and kid.
Yeah,
you know,
that's where they're at.
That's one thing that the wrestlers in the room, from what I hear, did not support the coaches on, was the way they treated Endine.
Could be.
I'll have to reach out to a former Iowa wrestler, Mitch Bowman. He's from the Quad Cities. I know his family. But I'll have to ask him what he thinks of Iowa wrestling this year, what needs to be done, or what they need to improve. I'll have to get some insight from. I'll have to ask him what's going on and see if he can get me anything. Right.
Good luck, because these guys are not willing to talk right now.
And that's totally understandable. I get that.
Yeah, but don't tell me that we're recruiting the wrong guys if we're spending all that money and I just don't like that answer. Gable turned the wrong guys into great wrestlers.
Mhm.
Barry Davis was not a highly ranked recruit. And
But I love the way Barry Davis
three
wrestled.
national champions. I think it was Kevin Darkus that went to Iowa State. And Kevin Darkus was supposed to just own Barry Davis. And Kevin Darkus in college never beat Barry Davis. And it was because of Dan Gable and Barry Davis.
Mhm.
A kid can have Dan Gable, but you got to do it yourself. You know, you got to get.
What year was that?
Barry Davis was, I don't know, 79 through 8. He won the Olympics in 84.
Wow.
And that was like his 5th year. And the year we went to the Final Four with Ronnie Lester, that was when Barry Davis was a freshman. He won the national championship, and he was starving himself to death. And they went to get on the team bus to go to the airport to fly to, I think the wrestling meet might have been in Oregon or some damn place, the NCAA tournament, and they couldn't find Barry Davis.
Bathroom.
And Gable thought, where the hell is he? And he had quit on the team, and he was at a donut shop buying donuts because he was starving to death.
Wow.
And Gable caught up with him just before he went out the door with the donuts, and grabbed him by the ear and got him back on the plane, and he won I think he won the national. I don't know if he was national champion as a freshman or not. I don't think so. Because he only won 3 of them. But that was the year Randy Lewis wrestled with one arm. He had a dislocated elbow. And he finished 3rd or 4th in the NCAA, and Gable won the
I'm
NCAA.
learning so much right now. This is awesome. I
Yeah.
never knew any of this about Iowa wrestling.
All right.
Yeah.
I just want to say a couple things real quick, and then I got a couple comments to read.
Yeah.
Okay. First of all, Brand says he has the right guys in the room. He's got the guys he wants. They're just basically, he made it sound like they're not listening to him. Okay. Well, then you don't have the right guys if they're not listening to you, although he didn't say that word for word. All right. Vandy Chris says, this is not the Iowa wrestling I grew up with. Such a shame that Brands has let it fall to this level. Brand's next the next comment by Vandy Chris is, Iowa wrestling and Kentucky basketball spend all that money on building a squad that isn't worth a flip when it matters.
I mean, he's not
And
wrong.
I will put in a little note that I do think Ben Keeter hips are not right.
Right.
Might be his excuse. But Gable never had an excuse, you know. And
No.
Ferrari's injured, you know, I think.
Yeah, okay.
Ferrari,
Yeah.
I had
I'll read one more comment.
I had no complaints about Ferrari's wrestling until he hurt that. I still don't have any complaints about Ferrari, you know.
Yeah.
But,
Okay. Here's a couple more comments. Boy says maybe Iowa wrestling fans are a little bit spoiled now. I think we're definitely spoiled.
Right.
But we haven't had anything to cheer about since 2021 when we won the national title. And that was because Penn State for 2 seasons in a row sat out their best wrestlers because they were getting ready for the Olympics. The 2020 Olympics got canceled, so they did it in 2021. So those guys didn't wrestle those 2 years.
In that year, though, even if Penn State would have wrestled their guys, we would have probably beat them. I think. But the thing that I don't like is that not that we're spoiled, but Iowa, there's three wrestling programs in the country that have unlimited money. They have everything they need, and that's Oklahoma State, Iowa, and Penn State. They have millions of dollars behind them, and don't tell me they don't. Don't make any excuse. They have more money. The only difference in them is that Dan Gable is in Penn State College. That's the difference between us dominating like we used to. Is Cale is Dan Gable.
Yep.
You know,
100%.
and the coach at Oklahoma,
100%.
I think the coach at Oklahoma State, I think his name's Taylor. He's a really good coach. They got him from he was an assistant for Cale Sanderson, you know. But that's the thing that bothers you as an Iowa fan is we are one that has all this behind us. You know, we should never be out of the top 3. You know.
Right. No, you're not wrong.
Yeah.
All right. Let me Vandy has another comment. He goes, "These aren't the right guys. The right guys don't get embarrassed when the lights come on." All right, I got something Alrighty. So here's our guys for lineup, okay? We've got Dean Peterson in his senior year. He's a transfer. And he's got a 7-2 record this year.
That's not bad.
Okay, here's our other 125 guy who's been wrestling more than Peterson has, who I just don't know why we put him out there. But he's actually, I see he's from Fresno. He has 11-6 overall record. You know, every time I watch him, he loses. I can't believe he doesn't have a losing record.
Maybe he wrestles against the better wrestlers.
Yeah.
I don't
That
know.
could be it too.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Drake Ayala is 6-5. Now we all know that he struggled at the beginning of the year, but he's coming on lately, and I hope he continues that.
Mm-hmm.
Caleb Peterson, 16-1. Did he not wrestle in those meets against Minnesota and stuff?
I don't know.
Okay. Ryder
knows?
Block is 7-4. Alrighty.
So most of these guys right now are above 500. They're winning they got winning records.
It's not that hard to have a winning record at Iowa,
Right.
you know.
Yeah.
But if you see the pattern, you know, it's who
Yeah.
knows if they're not wrestling against these guys or saving them for big matches or who
And
knows?
some of these guys that have a 7-4 record, they might have won five at some small tournament.
Yeah, in a tournament. Yeah, that's where you rack up the wins.
Yeah, well, you got Ryder Block, who's ranked 18th, but they're also saying that maybe Kale Vonovich will wrestle in this spot, who's not ranked, but he's 7-2. Then you got Jordan Williams, who I think he was one of the ones that lost his match after he had the lead because he quit wrestling. He's ranked 14th, 16th, and 12th. He's 8-5. I thought the guy was better than that. Or he could be replaced by the other Vonovich, Victor. He's at 7-4. And then you got Caliendo, who's ranked number 3. He won the other night, I believe it, in a technical fall. 11-2 on the season. Another third-ranked wrestler is Patrick Kennedy at 174. He's at 11-1.
Mm-hmm.
And then you got gotta get there. I think Gabe Arnold's next. Gabe Arnold at 184. He cried at the end of his match. He's another one that had the lead and quit. Okay, he's 11-3, so he's having a decent season. He would have a better season if he would just wrestle all the way through. When he wrestled as a freshman last year before he got hurt, he wrestled hard. He wrestled attacking wrestling. Now he's not. He's not doing that anymore. At 197, this guy wrestled the other night, and I believe he got beat pretty bad. Brody Sampson. He's 7-8, so he's.
There's one below 500.
Yep. And
He's
then he's not ranked.
He's not our regular guy.
Probably not. Yeah.
No, our regular guy is Ferrari. So at rank number 10 is Ben Keeter.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, 3-3. 3-3.
I watched him at state last year. That was really fun to watch. He's just Keeter, yeah.
He had to watch him 3 years ago.
He's a sophomore, yeah.
Yeah. I always watched the state tournament, just never really got to see it in person until last year. That was fun.
He has double hip he had double hip surgery, I believe. But
Is that what? Did he get much
I'm
playing
sure,
time
I'm,
in football?
I'm
then?
sure that he ain't gonna play football.
He hasn't played
It's
football at all for Iowa at all. He's not
He was
playing down.
overrated. I remember when we did a recruiting show, and I thought he was overrated as a linebacker at Iowa. I thought, well, he's got to be a defensive end or something. But when you're wrestling, he's never going to get to that weight that has
Right.
to be. He's never going to be a nice, fat, 280-pound defensive end when you're wrestling.
Right.
You know.
I mean, going into college doing two sports, that's hard to do.
His limited record is because of injury and surgery.
Okay.
I think that's what I'm assuming, because he was such a great junior champion, world champion, or whatever wrestler.
Yeah.
But anyway.
Well, guys, I think we beat it pretty dead. We beat it pretty hard.
Oh, defensive tackles. I'll be on that. You got it. I'll make
Pretty
sure you'll
hard.
get it.
It's pretty. I was looking at it tonight. I was gonna do the defensive tackles and the secondary, and it was like,
Holy
just
jeez.
makes your head spin when you got one defensive tackle returning, other than a couple walk-ons that have played at all, and it's like, boys, some of these transfers.
This is where you trust your instincts
good.
and your knowledge, and you come up with somebody like, I'm pretty sure we talked about this already, but I'm pretty sure little Epi will be coming off that edge in the D line.
Well, yeah, he's pretty simple. I have him as a starting defensive end, but I was talking about the defensive tackles.
Yeah, I know it.
Yeah,
all we got there's Hawthorne returning. We paid him.
Play this year, did he?
Then we got, oh hell yes, he played.
Yeah, he played.
Him and Graves and Pace were the three rotating defensive tackles.
Got it.
Pittman would play a little bit, and then two walk-ons, Gaffney and Hubert, are back, and they were in the rotation there. But it's like, then you got to just look at your transfers and say, oh my God, is this freshman, redshirt freshman? I wonder how he's looked in December. It's like, oh my God, trying to predict who's going to be the guys is going to be hard. You know?
Until they do the spring practice and all of that, and we may know a little bit more after the spring practice, but probably not. But who knows?
Well, I don't.
Yeah, we'll know more about that.
Right, I hope so.
Provide,
shit, if we don't, we have an issue there.
Yeah, remember last spring they did not provide a 2 deep at the end of the season, at the end of the April.
That's right.
I can see them not doing that again because, but they might provide one to start the fall practice.
But you could see all the film from the spring game and tell who was on first team and who rotated into second team. He just didn't put out a depth chart because of stupid parents.
I'm sending you both to the game, to the spring game. I want you to give me in-depth detail of everything. Take your notes.
Calvin, I might have to maybe hitch a ride from where I'm at. I might have to meet you there. One or two.
I'm a little disabled, so you aren't going to get a ride. You aren't going to get a ride from me. So I've been in Kinnick Stadium. I've been in Kinnick Stadium once, and that was for a spring game when I was going to be a senior in high school. And I went down there. Colleges were sending me letters and stuff, and I watched them practice. And Andre Tippett was on the field. It was Hayden's second year, and I watched them guys hit, and I knew that I don't want to be on a college football field.
If not,
I want to be able to use my knees, and stuff for the rest of my life. So,
makes
sense. All right, guys, we're gonna end this.
Sounds like a plan.
Okay, I think we beat everything to a pulp, guys. We will not be on Sunday night for obvious reasons.
Super Bowl.
Who do you guys got for the Super Bowl win? I got Seattle.
Same, Seattle.
Yeah, I got Seattle. Their defense is good, and Darnold's got more experience than May, even though I like May. I guess May might have kind of a bunged up shoulder or something.
Did you
Can I
guys
mention?
see? Did you guys see the little AI thing going around with the Minnesota guys in the locker room? The Vikings going, who gave up the
No, I haven't seen that yet.
gave up the
No.
franchise quarterback? We did. Who's going to the playoffs? Who's going to the Super Bowl?
I seen
Not us, not us.
I seen Justin Jefferson came right out in public today and said if we'd have kept Darnold, we'd had a hell of a lot better team this year. Like I'm sure McCarthy didn't like it too good. Can I mention one more thing before we go, Dean?
Sure.
Real quick. It was Tristan Wirfs put out this great video today that I posted on your website and Jason's and Hawkeye Football. And I grew up in Iowa site, all the sites that I share stuff on. Mm-hmm. And Tristan Wirfs come out and it was all about Kirk Ferentz, that we got 5 guys that made the Pro Bowl. Kittle, him, Jack Campbell, Cooper DeJean, and Tyler Linderbaum. And he said, we all made the Pro Bowl because of one guy. And he said, that's our coach, Kirk Ferentz, because he prepares people for the NFL physically, mentally, and with discipline. And then he said, one thing I want to point out about all these guys, they all grew up in the state of Iowa. They're Iowa kids. I know Kittle, his last year in high school, moved to Oklahoma or something. But they're all high school Iowa kids. And he said, imagine that. You know, I think there's only one college that's got more Pro Bowl guys than Iowa. You know,
okay.
And I thought that was something that really awesome.
Did you see that video clip floating around where Kittle's at the Pro Bowl practice or whatever he's doing? Of course, he's not playing, but he's there, and he's signing autographs for all these kids, and a little kid asked him, you know, can I have your hat? And he just whips it off and hands it to him.
I love Kittle. He's such a class act kid. He's just a kid. I listen to his podcast every now and then, and him and his wife are awesome. They're super nice people. Very nice people.
Kittle has a podcast?
I didn't know he had a podcast.
Yeah, he's got a podcast or something on the internet, but I was watching it. Yeah, it's good. He interviews players and celebrities sometimes. So.
Yeah, are you sure you don't have him mixed up with the Vandenbergs?
That I watched that too.
We don't have him mixed up with the Vandenbergs.
No.
I think George Kittle's hair is longer than Mrs. Vandenberg's. But
yeah,
one thing I do know about Bruce Kittle, George Kittle.
Bruce is
one thing I know that.
Yeah.
One thing that I got to point out about George, if he wants to, he will take Terry Bradshaw's place on the network TVs, because that's how big a personality and funny and stuff like that. You know, it's him and Caitlin Clark have a great future when their careers are over.
By the way, did anybody take a time to watch her debut on the NBA show?
I watched a little bit of it.
Yeah, she was just like Caitlin always does. Perfect. I mean, she made a face at Reggie Miller. They asked the question, well, who do you compare Caitlin to? And I don't watch the NBA, but he picked some guard for the New York Knicks, and it was not the good guard, Jalen Brunson. It was some guy I'd never heard of. I don't know Greg Pittman or something. And Caitlin, that pissed her off. She made a face like, "Are you kidding me?" You know, compare me to Larry Bird or Steph Curry. Don't compare me to some guy that we've never heard of. You know,
right?
Yeah. All right, guys. It's been a pleasure. Have fun. Enjoy the Super Bowl. We'll get back together after the Super Bowl. And if we'll come on sooner if there's any breaking news that we need to share. But anyway, everybody enjoy your weekend. Enjoy the Super Bowl and just have a lot of fun. Okay?
And enjoy 3 basketball wins this week.
Yeah, that too.
3.
And
3.
2 wrestling wins. We're gonna get 2 wrestling wins. We're gonna
least
come back
one
and
for
beat
sure.
Ohio State. I just
I
feel it.
hope
I feel
so.
it in my bones.
Oh my God. I'm worried about your bones, Dean.
Yeah, I know it. They're gonna
take
crack.
care of yourself. Make sure you eat and drink water, and
Sounds good.
you know.
All right, we're out of here, guys.
All
Thank
right.
you.
Yep.
Thank you,
Go
everybody.
Hawks.
Subscribe, like, comment, and share. Bye.